So, you found me at last. I suspect you have questions.
Yeah, Dreadwolf, I have questions. Like, why did you insult my Inquisitor's tattoos and then dump her, you coward? Yeah, that's right. I romanced the egg. I really should have learned by now, never date an apostate mage. They will inevitably leave you for their higher calling. You know, they have their own priorities. Anders had to go all social justice warrior and get possessed by a spirit of justice, and Solas had to go and try and revolutionize the world by tearing down the veil. And based on how the latest trailer and how Trespasser ended off, Solas has no plans on stopping, and honestly, this has me so hyped. I mean it when I say Dragon Age 4 has the potential to be one of the best Dragon Ages since Origins. The previous two games haven't quite captured the magic of the original, so let's briefly go through and examine what made some of them fail or succeed so far, and what I'm hoping Dragon Age 4 will accomplish. Origins retains the most classical RPG feeling of any of the games with its more tactical-based combat system. We face an end-of-the-world type situation alongside a ragtag team of characters, and to some, the combat system might be a turn-off, but hey, let's face it. Who plays Dragon Age for its fighting mechanics? The game excels most as a dating simulator and a compelling character drama with its superb voice acting, highlights which have continued throughout most of the franchise. However, Dragon Age 2 presents a more contained, intimate story than its predecessor. We don't face an end-of-the-world situation. We get to micromanage Kirkwall as Hawke tries to hold together her little family of misfits. I think the game was horrendously rushed, as evident in how the game developers recycled the same map over and over again. However, despite its flaws, I'm still oddly fond of this game. Then, Inquisition lost me a bit in its sheer expanse and lacked the tension of the original. Also, I feel it has the least memorable cast of characters of all the Dragon Ages. Many of the characters like Iron Bull and Blackwall I found to be uninteresting and one-dimensional characters, including the main villain. I guess that's partly because I didn't really feel Corypheus as a threat. Corypheus was a joke. Hands down, he is one of the easiest, if not the easiest, final boss I have ever encountered in a game. Like Cassandra, who is my only fighter, fell off a cliff and glitched, and still I was able to decimate him in around under 3 minutes. Oh no, it was bad, but I almost feel sorry for him, but not really. I still can't help shake the feeling that he and us, the player, have been played all along, though. After all, when Corypheus sees the throne of the gods, he says that it is empty and the once golden city had turned to blackness. So who is to blame for this? I think this brings us to one of the ultimate antagonists or anti-heroes, however you want to see it, of this series. The one who imprisoned the gods, the Dreadwolf and hard-boiled egg, Solas. And that really shouldn't be a spoiler by now. He painted murals of himself as the Dreadwolf. It was in Trespasser. It's been years. You should know by now. And this revelation makes me really excited because we have personal ties to this antagonist. Or if you were like me and decided to romance him, really personal ties. So this is going to bring a lot of emotional conflict and complicate things because I don't want to kill him, and I half agree with him. He's almost a tragic Promethean trickster figure who tried to free the elves and incurred the wrath of the other gods. So ideologically, yes, I agree with him. Methodologically, not so much. So I think he's going to put the next story's protagonist in a tight spot, and we're going to have to make some serious, difficult decisions. And I know traditionally we get a new protagonist for each new Dragon Age game, but I hope this time It breaks the mold. I almost hope that my Inquisitor can carry on her story and find reconciliation with Solas, or at least if Dragon Age 4 allows us to upload our personal characters and decisions from previous games so that my Inquisitor can go on an Easter egg hunt with the new protagonist. However, some fans are already worried about the direction the upcoming game might go. Okay, worried is an understatement. Fans are already boycotting the game and creating petitions on change.org over the game's inclusion of politics. And honestly, I am scratching my head over this one. Why the reaction now? How is this a new development? Dragon Age has always been political since its origins. It's been a pivotal part of its game mechanics and interwoven into its storyline. Origins revolves around the Civil War and a coup, and for anyone who played as a city elf, you begin with your wedding day ruined by a bunch of racist, or should I say speciesist, lords. Not to mention, decision-making is an integral part of the game mechanics. The game revolves heavily around choices, and the game's outcomes are based on the relationship you've developed with other characters. For instance, based on your relationship with Morrigan, or if you can convince Alistair to sleep with her, you can let her conduct her dark ritual to create a god baby. The full ramifications of that, I'm still waiting to find out. Also, in Inquisition, you can select who will be the next divine, the political leader of the chantry. So, Dragon Age has choices, folks. The games have always been about choices. Sure, the dialogue options can be misleading, but if you're concerned about politics being quote-unquote shoved down your throat, these games are rated MA, for adults. Are you, as an adult, not conscientiously aware and able to make your own informed choices? The dialogue wheel is there for a reason. It gives you options. If you want to be an anti-hero or an asshole that leaves cities to die, go for it. If you want to max out Solas's disapproval so you can punch him in the face, well, you have that option there too. But flinging around words like SJW or NPCs as a rote response seems more like a script that doesn't actually address the issues with Dragon Age's writing. If you want to argue that you have an issue with retconning a story's lore, that's an argument I can get behind. That's an argument I actually agree with. In fact, I felt Iron Bull's statement regarding Krem doesn't fit within previously established lore and Qunari's rigid case system. However, including canonically LGBT characters doesn't inherently affect the quality of the storyline or impact the plot all that much. For the most part, a character's sexuality solely affects romance options, with special cases for Morrigan and her magical sexual ritual to save the warden. And if you are a female noble human, you can become queen if you marry Alistair. Otherwise, it doesn't change the outcome of the plot. Basically, as long as the writers portray a well-written story and we get poignant cutscenes with characters, I don't care. Dragon Age 4, story-wise, is set up with so much potential and presents us with the most compelling Dragon Age villain to date. So let's go over some of the things I'd like to see included or explored further in Dragon Age 4. First, I want to see some familiar faces, and not necessarily Varric's. Sorry, Varric, but if we were to have any old characters return, I'd like to see Fenris and Dorian to hear their conflicting thoughts on magic and Tevinter. Also, I just want to see Fenris's reaction to Solas trying to restore magic to the elves. He's usually not a happy camper, but boy, is he gonna freak. Lastly, on a related note, I'd like to see Joan and blood magic make a comeback. Blood magic wasn't an available specialization in Inquisition, but since blood magic is largely forbidden, I think it would add an interesting layer, a little spice to the argument for or against using magic. Alright, that just about sums up all my thoughts for now, so let me know what you'd like to see out of Dragon Age 4 down below in the comments. So thanks for watching, I'll catch you in the fade.